3,000 men, burnt to ashes in minutes.
I remember the stillness when the news reached Vengerberg, the palace, the streets, the houses, the entire capital cloaked in silence.
The cries were here, every last man. I was somewhere beyond that hill, in the middle of the massacre.
What is your intention, Saskia?
I intend to stop Aedirn from being sold.
We cannot afford a war with Henselt. We must parley.
Don't look like
Leave
no
issues of war to me, Prince.
She
Concentrate on King Henselt. Yarpen Zigrin claims he's short-tempered. Provoke him to strike, and we'll negotiate once the battle's won.
I still cannot fathom why the nobles betrayed us.
Spit on the nobles, Prince. They've meant nothing since the day my peasant force scattered them on the Diffney.
By the good deity Creve, my lord. The girl is a demon incarnate.
Firstly, the girl has a name. Secondly, she's the best commander I have. All others have betrayed me.
She's a monster. Creve spoke to me in a dream. I saw a snake-like she-demon devour your heritage.
Silence, all can. We near the meeting place.
We shall sign everything, Your Majesty. As you.
We have guests. Welcome, Stennis, son of Demavend. I invite you to join us.
Greetings, Henselt. You seem at home in Aedirn. You are here, yet I do not recall inviting you.
Fellout did so in your stead. I'm here at his behest. I've broken no truces or treaties yet.
Oh, is that so? Mr. Brogan, please escort Count Fellat to a secluded spot and remove his troublesome head.
Don't you dare, boy. You're no king. Your father.
My father is dead. The folk still mourn him while you betray his good name and his country.
Your Majesty, I must request your protection. This young man has lost his mind.
Take him away.
Your Majesty, what of our agreement?
I need you no longer, Fellat, now Stennis is here.
Anyone else wish to object? Wonderful. To the matter at hand, then.
Well said. I will show you my hand. I've over 200 armed men encamped nearby, enough to hold the fort for several hours. Another 5,000 battle-hungry lads await on the other bank. What say you to that?
In attacking Aedirn, you would break the provisions of the Peace of Sintra. All the northern kingdoms will be obliged to support me.
None will stand with you.
Radovid of Redania, the Dukes of the South.
You dream, boy. They're not to be counted on. And the treaty, I piss on it as do they. You are alone.
Not entirely.
I'll stay out of this, Saskia.
Well, well, she has a voice. Saskia, the Dragon Slayer. You're much prettier than they claim. You'll need to throw in the last two. Peasants should work the fields, not rebel and burn down the estates of their masters. It's to your advantage to give her up.
I'll not allow it. This land is under my protection. If no one else has the courage to stand up to you, I will. Listen well, King. You have 1 hour to quit Upper Aedirn with your forces. If you fail to do so, it's war. If but one Cadweni soldier remains on this land 1 minute past the deadline, it's war. You will instruct your heralds to proclaim around and about that you apologize to the people of Aedirn for this shameful incursion. Otherwise, it's war.
You've got balls, woman. My soldiers would call me a coward. Or a madman. I am Henselt of Ard Caraig. I'll not run from a woman, even a dragon slayer. That apart, you're a pretty fetching lass. I want this land. I want its gold. And I want you, dragon slayer. Grab them!
Stop! Stop in the name of Creve, Freyr and Melitele!
Hey! By the milk of Mother Creatrix's tits, Geralt of Rivia! And of the best company to boot.
Yarpin Zigrin.
It's been years, you old prick. It's great to see you in good health.
Geralt, staring as if you've seen a ghost. Muster up a hug for an old friend.
Geralt's head's not exactly on straight.
Ha! Meaning you truly did in Foltest. Fine by me. Foltest was a ploughing niggard and a niggardly plougher. You did right, Geralt.
Not the point. Geralt's lost his memory.
And I didn't kill Foltest.
Right. What's the difference? Someone did. But we've bigger problems now.
Where's Saskia?
Oh, aye. Why is this butcher here?
I've come with 100 archers, the best in the world. We're here to aid your cause.
Well, you'll need to wait. Saskia and Prince Penis, rather Skinnis, went off to parley with Henselt. Me and the boys are waiting in case something goes wrong. The sun's gone dark. Call the sorceress!
Come, Geralt.
Philippa, she'll show us the way.
Iorveth, you've got some explaining to do.
My elders, blood, brains.
Silver harms them. I'll cover you.
Marty, help me!
Shut up, Juan.
I hate flying through fog. Saskia, are you all right?
It's just a flesh wound. You and the Witcher, we owe you our lives.
I'm here to protect you. And you, Witcher?
I'm after a Kingslayer who kidnapped Triss Merigold.
And brought her here?
Is this an interrogation?
There are warrants on your head in Temeria, Kedwin, and Redania. And I'm responsible for Saskia's safety.
That's enough, Philippa. You told me yourself you thought him innocent.
Saskia, folk are riled. First the sun went out, then the squirrels arrived, now this fog. It's too much for the common folk.
True. Summon all the commanders to the meeting hall. Iorveth, give me some time. I must prepare them for your arrival. Witcher, Philippa, you must be there too. I wish to hear what we can expect from this anomaly and how we might be rid of it. Worry not, Yarpen. The legendary White Wolf and the equally famous Philippa Eilhart should have a remedy for several hundred rabid wraiths. I want to see all commanders in the council chamber. Philippa, that includes you and the Witcher. Cecil, the gates are to remain shut until we're done. You'll answer with your beard if they open for any reason.
Welcome to Vergen, Witcher. I'm Cecil Burdon, the Alderman.
Geralt of Rivia.
We've got a spare room at the inn. It's not much, but at least you'll have a roof over your head and a solid bed neath your arse.
Thanks, I could use that.
Scalen, show Master Geralt to his quarters, and visit Reverend Alcon's chambers on your way back to inform everyone that he has departed.
That is, that he died a hero, slain by the invaders.
Exactly. You see, Master Witcher? He's young but clever. We'll make a real dwarf out of him yet.
This shall be your chamber, Witcher. They say Selkirk of Gullet himself slept in this bed before battle. Didn't bring him any luck, but at least he was well rested before he died. Need anything else?
Thanks, Geralt.
You missed quite a scrap, gentlemen, and an opportunity to slay a monarch. There was a struggle and the prince was wounded.
You've all seen the magical phenomenon covering the battlefield. For any who still have doubts, this is no mundane mist, nor a petty fairground illusion. Most likely, we're up against a blood curse, an old and powerful spell. We do not know who cast it or why. For now, I have one piece of good news and several pieces of bad news. The good news is that Henselt and his army have been halted for the time being.
And the bad news?
The mist will grow. It may even engulf Vergen. Furthermore, wraiths may emerge from it.
Can they be made penitent? With an axe to the head?
In theory, yes, but I would suggest putting your faith in a silver weapon. Furthermore, the ghosts will weaken as they move away from the mist.
Is there any way to drive it off? Exorcise it?
A question for myself and Geralt of Rivia.
The Kingslayer?
Contrary to what old women at the wells say, he did not, in fact, slay any kings.
Of course he didn't. Wouldn't hurt a fly, that one. Look at his eyes. You'll see he's the sensitive kind.
Whatever you may see in his eyes, few know more about lifting curses. Gentlemen, I do not require you to understand this phenomenon, but there are a few rules I insist you must follow.
Here we go.
No one is to approach the mist. It is mortally dangerous. In addition, we need to learn the story of the battle. For this, I especially count on the aid of Mr. Cecil Burdon.
At your service, my lady.
Thank you.
To lift the curse, we require some objects symbolic of the war. Ones belonging to those who perished here 3 years past.
Pfft. More scrap iron from that massacre lying about than lice in Cecil's beard. I thought curses were best handled with...
Please leave the thinking to me, Mr. Zigrin, and I'd gladly hear less from you from now on. The objects must be magically active and strictly linked to the ghosts of the fallen. That is all.
Let me be clear. You're all to aid Philippa and the Witcher. What are you grumbling about now, Yarpen?
It's something in my gullet.
Take a swig of wine. Now, to worldly matters. How many are we?
Saskia, you know well...
How many?
We dwarves are near 200. But don't judge us by our number.
1,500 peasants will come, though you'll get no precise count.
My lords?
53 knights and another 200 armed men. Not enough.
Henselt leads 5,000, 5-1 against us. What think you of that?
We are few, they are many. But we have our walls, low though they be. If we had archers, who knows?
Oh, for a regiment of heavy arbalists from Lyria.
We have something better. Iorveth's elves. Scoia'tael. Gentlemen, I give you Iorveth.
What do you seek here, murderer?
100 of the North's best archers await your orders, Dragon Slayer.
You wished for archers? Here they are.
I take no pleasure in fraternizing with elves. But even a shit-coated stick can be a weapon.
He burned down the villages of many in my horde.
The free peasantry is one thing, but a criminal with a price on his head in all the northern realms? This is too much.
Saskia, say the word and we'll depart.
Hear me out. Iorveth came to fight for me. I trust him, and I know that he'll stay the course. Just like each of you.
How could you know that? He's an elf. Treason runs in his veins.
He's been fighting humans for a century.
But for the first time in scores of years, his fight makes sense. The Scoia'tael know no peace. They've died for Nilfgaard, for the Valley of the Flowers, in vain. They've been betrayed and cheated. Now they have a new goal. The Pontar Valley could be the first state where no man would have to fear elven arrows when venturing beyond city walls. And elves and dwarves wouldn't live in ghettos or on reservations. First, however, we have a battle to win. You know who we're up against. It's a splendid army, brave and well led. They cannot be scared off or routed. They have to be killed. I want Iorveth to sit at the same table as we do. I want him to kill Cadwenny for us. And I assure you that he'll do so with a smile, if only you let him.
If I'm to see a smile on that skinny face, I'm in. Iorveth stays.
Bloody hell. Father's turning in his grave, but a must's a must. I say aye.
Nay, you killed my men, elf. Remember them?
If I hadn't killed them, they'd have killed me.
All right. For the sake of better times, and for Kedwen's doom, aye!
Down with the sons of bitches! Cheers!
Poison! She's dying. Take her somewhere safe and guard her with your lives. I'll gather what I need and join you soon.
I'll place my best warriors on watch.
Quickly, lads! A litter!
She ceased casting spells.
Saskia, is she alive?
In a manner of speaking, I've slowed her life functions as far as possible. Her condition is stable.
Do you know the poison?
Thaumador. Commonly known as mage pain. It has a terrible reputation.
An antidote must exist.
What can we do?
Treatment will require herbs, magic, and blood.
Not ordinary blood, I presume.
Correct. We require royal blood.
We could use letho right now.
The nearest king is on the other side of the Mist of Wraiths.
You misunderstood me. It need not be the blood of a ruling monarch. It is the genotype contained in royal blood that is required. Kings issue from ancient dynasties. Over the ages, to survive, rulers needed exceptional resistance and strength. As royal dynasties rarely admit common blood, the strength of their genes remains great. I shall employ self-healing genetic therapy that will teach Saskia's body how to rid itself of the poison.
You'll have her drink human blood.
No, I shall inject it directly into her heart.
What kind of herbs are we talking about?
I'll need a subterranean variety of purple foxglove, known to the dwarves as the Immortelle, and an elven rose of remembrance.
Triss had a rose of remembrance. She claimed the flowers are exceptional.
Long ago, the Enshe, who succeeded in cultivating the roses, enjoyed great respect.
Times have changed.
As have elves.
There are no elven gardens nearby. We must return to Flotsam.
Triss has a rose of remembrance from Flotsam. It's her we need to find. Where will we find Immortelles?
They grow deep beneath the earth, which should not be a problem as Vergen lies on top of a mine.
How will they help Saskia?
Mage pain wreaks havoc in internal tissues. The Immortelle will help restore them.
What else do you need to heal Saskia?
Thaumadour is a self-perpetuating substance. Any incursion into a cluster of poisoned cells causes an immediate chain reaction. Each tainted cell that is removed is replaced by 10 new tainted cells. To interrupt this reaction, I'll need an ungodly amount of the power. A water or air genie, or one of the 20 legendary rings of power would be best.
One to bring them all and in the darkness bind them.
Right. And then I'll have to run barefooted to the top of a volcano.
All right. Let's forget the rings. I need a vast quantity of the power, no matter the source. Find something.
An Immortelle, a rose of remembrance, royal blood and magic. Sounds like a fairy tale.
A poor one at that. No prince's kiss to top things off.
I wish it were a fairy tale, especially a poor one, as a happy ending would then be inevitable. May I count on your help, Geralt?
You may. What about the Battle of Wraiths?
I must first see if the spells keeping Saskia alive are in order. Then we'll consider how best to send the spectres to their rest. Actually, you could tend to that yourself. Ask the locals about the battle. Maybe you'll learn something.
In that case, I shall search for the poison.
You let one human in and in no time, you've got a swarm.
Geralt, sit down. We haven't yet celebrated your raid into the mist. Sorry. Where are my manners? Sheldon Skaggs, veteran of the battles of Sodden and Brenna.
And all ends along the way.
You've already met Vergen's elder?
Greetings.
Gentlemen, not sure about you, but my throat's parched from all these greetings.
Funny. Those were the first words out of your mouth.
Master Dandelion's right. Around for everyone! On me!
I'd gladly drink, but Saskia was poisoned and time is of the essence.
How can we help? Speak!
Have you ever heard of a plant called the Dwarven Immortelle?
Have we? The pigs have tight axes.
To tell the truth, I've no idea, Skaggs.
It's just a saying.
You're the only one using it.
Witcher, the Immortelle. It appears most often near anthracite and aluminosilicate deposits.
Philippa needs it to heal Saskia.
A rare curio, but there's a mine nearby, and who knows? You might find it deep underground.
Is the mine far?
Not at all. It's in Vergen itself, in the town's upper quarter.
You're eager for this expedition, but nobody told the Witcher that the mine's closed.
Closed, that's true. But it's long overdue a cleaning. Weed out all the underground shite.
What are you talking about?
Not a month ago, miners started disappearing. Must have tapped the wrong vein and woken some scum from the deep. We wanted to send a crew of stout fellows in, but Saskia said she needs all the soldiers she can find up top, ready to defend the town. We closed the shaft, fearing the filth would emerge and overrun us all.
Looks like we arrived just in time. Hey, Geralt?
So it seems. Let's go.
Right on. With this crew, we needn't fear any monster. How about you, Sheldon? You coming with us, or staying around to get your fuck?
Another chance like this won't come around in a hurry. Fucking can wait. I'm with you.
Let's meet at the mine's entrance.
One freak bigger than the next.
The Witcher's on board. We can go.
Let's get to work, my bearded friends.
Open the shaft, Skags. If you kill off those monsters, the whole of Vergum will be grateful. I'm sure some coin would be found.
We'll keep that in mind, Cecil.
So, Sheldon, you opened the shaft yet?
Keep your pricks in your trousers. You can't just plough forward all the time. A mine is like a lover. You need to be gentle, so she accepts you nice and hard.
You and your music, Sheldon.
Poor son of a bitch. He almost got away.
I think I heard something.
What was that?
Necrophages. With this many appearing, they must have a nest nearby.
Come on! Show yourselves! I'll let you taste my axe!
Oh, you're making them short bricks.
Even then, they'd stink less than you.
Right. That should do it.
The medallion again.
Right, Geralt. Looks like it's all over.
Thanks for your help, Zoltan.
Say nothing of it.
Enough yapping. time for some vodka.
First, I want to see if my fuck date's still waiting.
Just don't strain yourself. It takes energy to drink with us too, you know.
We killed most of the necrophages.
Most?
The passage to the lower level collapsed. They won't get out. In time, they'll die off and you can restart work.
Thank you, Witcher. The whole of Vergen thanks you. Here's your coin. Shive, Skaggs, and Zigrin will get the same.
What is it, Witcher?
Who is that girl?
Cynthia, a leashed sorceress.
A charming expression. Do you also use muzzles?
Leash means a connection between a sorceress and her assistant. An unfortunate term, I admit, but it explains how things are. Cynthia can tap my power, use my spells. She's a conduit. And she's learning along the way. It's convenient, and except for the name, not derisive at all. But you're not here to talk about Cynthia.
I've found an immortelle.
Excellent.
How is it that King Radovid's court sorceress and advisor is supporting rebellion in Aedirn?
This has grown into more than a simple rebellion, Witcher. Prince Stennis' arrival here confirmed Saskia's right to represent Aedirn.
Saskia isn't fighting for Aedirn, but for the Pontar Valley. Even Prince Stennis considers you rebels. He hasn't moved against you because war with Kedwen hangs by a thread. Why are you here, Sorceress of Tretogor?
It is my duty. If Henselt occupies the Pontar Valley, Redania and Temeria will respond strongly. The North will disintegrate, its unity gone. A dark scenario that is nevertheless avoidable, provided Saskia is successful and wins the Valley's independence.
Even if she thwarts Henselt, there'll be no independence without agreement from Redania and Temeria.
Temeria's expansionist plans melted away with Foltest's death. Redania's ruler is unpredictable, but even he'll have to respect a victory. I'm here to make this victory a fact.
Is what they say true? Did Saskia kill a dragon?
Prince Stennis decorated her for it at the court in Vengerberg, so it appears to be true. If you want to know the details, talk to Biggerhorn. Apparently he witnessed it.
Have you heard about a Witcher's school? Apparently the Viper's their sign.
No, why do you ask?
The Kingslayer wears a medallion adorned with a viper.
Pretentious and childish for my taste. You can't be very smart.
A sorceress like you ought to know bundles about the wild hunt.
A sorceress's knowledge has nothing to do with superstitions.
The hunt's not a superstition.
True. The phenomenon seems to exist.
I want to know everything there is to know about it.
It's strictly atmospheric. It doesn't interest me. Just as whirlwinds, whirlpools, and snowfalls do not interest me. Remember the antidote for Saskia. It's very important.
The medallion again. Who are you?
I'm Cynthia, a mage in training. Philippa is my mentor.
My condolences.
No need for that. True, she's a demanding mistress, but she can also be charming. Besides, she's the best there is, Witcher. She has no equals, excepting perhaps the old elven sorceresses. You should see her cast spells. Light and graceful she is, not like that old tart to Tanzaville.
You know Sheila?
I've seen her cast spells. I've seen all the great sorceresses at work. Sheila's quite manly in her style. Precise, logical, exceptionally composed. But she lacks grace and suppleness.
Is that your opinion? Or are you just repeating what Philippa says?
We agree in our assessment. Triss Marigold, on the other hand, is talented. But she lacks determination, courage, and a certain cold willfulness that seems necessary.
That's interesting.
Kira Metz and Margarita Lo Antiel are both blasé, seemingly resigned. One's a hedonist and nymphomaniac, the other cares only about her school. They lost enthusiasm for magic long ago. Then there's Francesca Finderbear. Nobody really knows what the old she-elf is capable of, but she's clearly very powerful.
I take it Philippa has none of these flaws, but she must have some weakness.
Ambition. Infinite, boundless, and burning like the Korath Desert.
Just out of curiosity, how much does a magic course cost these days?
I'm certain you can't afford it, Witcher. Besides, you're too old.
No matter. I have a few of my own tricks as it is.
You mean Witcher's signs? Philippa can conjure up the illusion of a garden full of flowers, fruit trees, and young elves of both sexes copulating merrily all the day. And the illusion is complete. The flowers have an aroma. The fruit and she-elves are juicy.
Invite me over the next time she conjures up this garden. I'd gladly see it. Professional curiosity.
Naturally. But I doubt Philippa's in the mood for complicated illusions. She focuses all her efforts on Saskia.
People of Bergen, we have a magical mist full of ghosts just outside our walls, so you'd better think twice before entering it. The mist, may the plague take it, threatens all manner of creatures, so anyone headed to the quarries or walking through the gullies should take exceptional heed. The squirrels that have made camp by the burnt huts are not our enemies, so says Saskia. So it is. Master Geralt of Rivia and Sorceress Philippa Eilhart will deal with the mist and the wraiths. And now, open the gates and get to work.
How are things?
Everyone awaits the battle. Some pray, others drink. Zoltan and Yarpa are chasing peasants around the square. They need a bit of drilling. Iorveth's warriors are trying to be inconspicuous. So they should. I'd feel better if they crawled up the devil's arse and disappeared. But Saskia thinks we don't stand a chance without them.
How long have you been alderman?
My predecessor was killed 3 years ago. I was one of his advisors. I knew my way round this circus. So I volunteered to manage things. No one opposed me. Mostly I deal with trade and taxes, and I organize assorted matters. In the end, everyone listens to Saskia exclusively, me included.
This must be the first revolt ever to be taxed.
We can't feed ourselves nor fortify our walls with rebel slogans alone. The rest easy. Stennis and the nobles won't get a single oren from us. Though, of course, the prince is just waiting for the right moment to get his grubby hands on our finances.
I'm sure his motivations are pure, and he'll do it exclusively out of regard for his subjects.
Greetings, Gwynblade.
What could Philippa want? Why does she care about Vergen being free, independent?
Like all sorceresses, she likes to dabble in politics. Not one of them would hesitate to sacrifice another life if it furthered their goals.
Quite a one-sided opinion. All? None? Life's rather colorful. It's not all black and white.
Shades of grey, I think. I have no illusions about mages. You know the fate which the Queen of the Valley of Flowers reserved for the elven youth. Enid Anglina, known also as Francesca Finderbear, another sorcerer. In exchange for the creation of an elven kingdom in Dol-Blathanna, she sent the Scoia'tael to be butchered while attacking Nilfgaard's foes from the rear. She had a chance to call it off. She could have opposed the Emperor of Nilfgaard and summoned the squirrels to defend the Valley of Flowers.
Why didn't she?
In the name of a higher purpose. It's what the Emperor wanted. That's why we became bandits after the war. That's why elves are dying, our young murdered by the likes of Roach. And that's why I cannot trust Philippa Eilhart.
Tell me about this Dwan for whom the Scoia'tael are ready to do battle.
Saskia. She's no Dwan. Certainly not like the others. You've seen her. I doubt I need to explain.
She's fighting for a Pontar Valley for dwarves, elves, and humans alike. I thought you despised humans.
I may only be a warrior, but I'm no fool. This is the best we can hope for now, and it's better than the Valley of Flowers.
You think you can repel Henselt's army?
No.
What do you mean, no?
The fortifications and dwarven devices are simply not enough to hold off the Kedwenis. They are just too many.
What do you plan to do?
You'll see. One thing I can promise. I won't break any pledge I've made.
Have you ever been to the Valley of Flowers?
Dulblathana is nothing more than a vassal state of the Nilfgaardian Emperor. They call it the land of free elves, but the Scoia'tael are not welcome. It's another in a string of painful lessons. The free Pontar Valley could change that. It's been 5 years since the kingdom was established in Dulblathana. Over 2,000 elves have settled there. Do you know how many children they produce? A dozen or so. It's no longer the Valley of Flowers. It's the Valley of Sterile Elders.
I'd love to see you tell Francesca that. I once met another Scoia'tael leader.
Yavin. I knew him. He had beautiful dreams and desperately wanted me to share them. Asked the same of you, I heard.
You know a lot about me.
I try to know as much as I can. About everyone.
I'm a witcher. I remain neutral. I didn't take his side.
Perhaps that is the correct attitude. Let things run their course. It's worse if we then wonder what could have been and we acted differently.
I try to avoid that. Decisions should be evaluated before they're made, not after.
How is it that we're on the same side today?
Things change. Today I have different goals and different allies. Roach could be on the other side of the fog.
In that case, I'll finally get him. I came close in Flotsam.
Been after him for a while?
Ever since he became leader of the Blue Stripes. During his first mission as commander, he ambushed one of my units and cut it down to the last elf. Surprised me for the first and last time. I've been more cautious since then.
So it's a personal matter. Vengeance. A theme straight out of Dandelion's ballads.
The safety of the Scoia'tael demands his death. Of the commanders first appointed to such units, he's the only one still alive.
I noticed there's no Temerian emblem in your collection.
We should not claim something's done when it is not.
You do realize that a dozen others will replace him when he's gone. Possibly dirtier foes, possibly worse.
Better to have a known enemy, you say? That doesn't apply to Vernon. A more determined demon has never walked upon this earth. The longer he is active, the better he gets. I must put an end to it.
Anything new about Letho?
No, but I wager he's somewhere on the other side of the fog. I can feel it.
You haven't had a chance to explain yourself. Your alliance with Letho. This is a good time.
I suppose I owe it to you, Geralt. I don't know who they are exactly, nor who they're working for. I met Letho 2 months ago. He had escaped his pursuers in Aedirn, found me and suggested we trade services. Our scouts and forest hideaways in exchange for the heads of Foltest and Hensel. A good offer to begin with that only became better when we revealed only part of our secrets. It then turned out that Letho was not alone. Sereth and orcs were meant to kill Hensel. My warriors were to help them. As you know, this never came to pass.
You wanted to discuss something?
You said we'd need a magical object to cure Saskia. Any ideas where I might start looking?
Magical items do not grow on trees, as you know. Luckily, this area has a long history. There's the Battle of Wraiths, the site of Sabrina Glevisig's death and suffering, the abandoned mines.
I was hoping you'd be specific.
I won't ask you to traipse around with a divining rod, but please try to be a little inventive. Ask the locals, that's always a good place to start. I dare say Alderman Burdon knows every last stone in the area. Maybe you should see him.
Saskia needs help, Cecil. Philippa can produce an antidote, but she needs a magic artifact to do that.
Would you like a fern and a dancing worm to go with it? Listen, I don't know about magic, but there is a place. As long as I can remember, it's been of interest to sorcerers. So it's a very strong intersection. Look for magic there.
Where exactly is there?
Seek out the ruins in the forest beyond Bergen. There's a place of power there. You can't miss it. Why so glum? Saskia's a tough girl. She'll bounce back. Keep your head up.
Thanks, Cecil.
No, Witcher. I thank you. Save that, lass. You'll save my time.
Found one of the ingredients for Saskia's cure.
Show me. Interesting. Getting warmer, but still not there. It's as if I'd sent you to get me the sun and you'd brought me a candle. We need something massive, an item of real power, Geralt. This is a dwarf's dream. Stolen and magically encased in this crystal. It would do if it was stronger.
You know what this means? In addition to normal harpies, there are Solano in the area.
Solano?
Dream Snatchers, the only harpy species to develop something resembling intelligence. They magically bind dreams to mountain crystals. I heard they once inhabited this area. Solano live among regular harpies, but their lair should be full of stolen dreams. One of those would be powerful enough, I'm sure.
You'd have to enter the harpy lair through the quarry. Unfortunately, the gate to the caves is locked and Cecil Burdon won't open it. I asked him on another occasion. Stubborn as a mule, that one. But we must not relent. Saskia clings to life by a thread. Let me show you the desire contained in this particular dream. Don't be hasty to judge.
Yes, I can feel it. Whose dream is it?
Cecil Burdon's.
In that case, I need to see the alderman. Got a feeling he just might open the gate for me. I need to get inside the harpy lair.
No chance.
I know all about the harpies. They steal dreams, collect them. I found one, but it proved too weak for our purposes. I need a stronger one. So I'm asking you nicely. Open the damn gate.
Listen, Witcher. I want Saskia to recover, I do. But don't ask me to turn this town into a circus just before we battle Henselt. My grandfather locked that gate for a good reason. Imagine if we could all go in there to look at those dreams. Dwarves, peasants, their scoia'tael, Aedirnian nobles even. All seeing the desires of others. Terrifying. It would be the end of Vergen. What's more, legend has it the oldest stolen dreams can become reality. And I don't want nightmares stalking Vergen's back alleyways come nightfall.
Open it. I'll make it quick.
Stop pissing me off. You're acting like a drunk suitor. No means no.
You know, don't know if I should mention this, but the dream I found belongs to you.
What are you talking about?
It's an embarrassing affliction, I imagine. Hell, even something of a political liability in your case. Some might even call you a freak. You're the alderman. An ages-old tradition is vested in you. On top of that, you now lead the preparations for Vergen's defense.
You wouldn't dare.
Imagine your ancestors carved in stone. Condemnation, not pride on their bearded faces. Who knows? Maybe you'd keep your office, but you'd be the talk of the town for ages. And your nephew. Poor kid.
I'll open the gate. I promised Scalen's mother I'd be sober as a judge to the end of my days. And I aim to keep my word. I don't give a damn about ages-old traditions and piss on loose talk. But you're right. I cannot compromise Vergen's morale. You must bury this thing. The secret dies with you, never to be spoken aloud. Understand?
I do. Thanks, Cecil. Good luck staying sober.
Don't try anything.
I'll say it again. Humans are strange.
Cosplayers. Let's go drink, friends. I'm gonna get as drunk as a lord.
Why's that?
They stole it. The plowing bird stole it. My dream is gone.
And then what's the grin for?
Night after night I dreamed of my dead wife for years. Let's go for some liquor. Drinks on me.
Greetings, Vatgern. I'm glad to see you again.
Again?
Flotsam? The fire? Funny how these things work. never forget that. Oh, unimportant. Needless to say, I'm deeply indebted.
Sorry.
No need to be. But I feel I should pay you back somehow. I've started anew here, you know. That always builds confidence. Sure I can't tempt you with something?
Wait a minute. Is this what I think it is?
It is if you want it to be. We elves might seem strange by your standards. You saved my life. A bit of joy as recompense is not too much to ask.
I'm intrigued. It's been a tough day. I think some joy might do me good.
Am I ever glad to have that debt off my mind?
I'm happy for you.
I'm happy for us both. Oh, I have a memento for you. Take this.
A key?
To an old mine pit. I've no use for it, but you're quite the...
All right. Thanks.
The head of a king. Take it to Sheila. You know where. She'll give you coin and further orders.
Heavy. How am I supposed to carry it through the forest? I won't be able to draw my sword.
You'll go unarmed, in common clothes. Try to sneak through unnoticed, but if anyone asks, you're bringing the witch some sausages.
You can see it a mile away, and it stinks of vinegar. I'll have to find a thick sack.
Go on. Quit complaining. There's no time.
Wonder how many more will take.
By the gods, they're closer and closer. They'll not catch me. To the workshop. They'll not find it there, over my dead body, horsets. You'll never fathom Master Baltimore's secrets. It's not far now.
Esed mahon, tal este in pedon, elornet eleorien, feredein mahon, hal daumas.
You're as beautiful as an elf, my lady.
Come to me, my hero. Let's fuck in the barn.
Ah, the luck. To think I wanted to play dice with the others.
Call them too. It'll be lovely.
You wanted to discuss something?
I found a stolen dream. It seems powerful. I think it's a dragon's dream.
Excellent. That should do nicely. Come back and see me when you have the remaining ingredients.